Hanover Wildcats Coach's Corner, a service of Hanover Electric, Blue Valley Technologies, Inline Construction, the Blue Valley Insurance Agency, Citizen State Banks, Handy's Hardware and Lumber, Midwest Products, and Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance.
The variety of our checking plans exceeds your grandfather's dreams. We have checking plans for kids, checking for college students, checking for small businesses, and checking for seniors only. We have checking plans that pay interest. By checking with us, you have quality choices to add to your portfolio and financial planning. Citizen State Bank of Marysville, Waterville, and Hanover. Quality banking since 1907. Member FDIC.
See Andy Bruna at Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover for a full line of your everyday hardware needs and all the building supplies you'll need to get the job done right. Just about anything you might need around the farm or home is found at Andy's, and always fast, friendly service when you need it. It just makes good sense to shop at Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover, Kansas, a Plyout Wildcat booster. That's Andy's Hardware and Lumber in Hanover.
Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance, providing high-quality coverage and service, all at a competitive premium cost. Since 1888, Bremen Farmers Mutual has offered homeowner, farm owner, business owner, fire, and inland marine coverage. Dependable and affordable. See your local agent representing Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance. Learn more about the various insurance products offered by going online at bfmic.com.
Quality work at reasonable rates. Inline Construction does basements and foundations as well as retaining walls, plus drives, patios, and sidewalks. For concrete work, call for a quote from Inline Construction at 562-5523 or inlineconstruction@yahoo.com.
Welcome into the Hanover Wildcats Coach's Corner program, joined today by Matt Hoyer, head coach of the Wildcats. Coach, convincing 56-6 win over Clifton Clyde there last Friday night. We were talking a little bit before the game, before this conversation. How did you handle what Clifton Clyde threw at you Friday night?
I thought our kids did a pretty good job of adjusting a little bit. They came out and they did some things that they did not do week one. And quite frankly, offensively, they didn't do much of anything they did week one. They kind of switched it up. And, it took us a little bit to adjust to that. But at the same time, I thought our kids reacted pretty well. I thought they made the adjustments pretty well. And, I thought our kids proved that, they were able to, kind of make those adjustments on the fly and allow us to be successful on that side of the ball.
For your team too, the importance of seeing something that you're not used to seeing, adjusting on the fly, and then you two as a coaching staff, figuring out what you need to do. How important was that to see this kind of style change of pace early on in the season?
I think it's important because, it keeps your kids understanding that, you can go in with a game plan, but at the same time, that can adjust at any moment. It's very important to understand you still got to be flexible. You still got to be able to kind of, go with the flow per se when you're dealing with, good quality coach teams. And I think that our kids did a good job of doing that. I thought our kids did a good job of, handling the adjustments that we had to make. And then offensively, I thought we did a good job, throughout the course of the game of, being effective on, in both aspects, running and passing. And I think that's going to, going forward, be one of the stronger things that we can do is more balanced than we've been probably the last couple of years. And, maybe have the capability of having, more big plays than we've had the last couple of years. And I think that's going to be extremely important as we go forward as well.
And now when you talk about your team, I want to ask defensively, the last 2 weeks, points scored anyway, only 14 allowed to El Saline and Clifton Clyde. Is that a positive you see in your squad this year?
Yeah, definitely. I think defensively we're a lot quicker. We're probably faster to the ball than we've been the last few years, and I think that's extremely important. I think that we still need to, kind of shore up some discipline aspects. Both times that we were scored on, I feel like, we kind of, had a little bit of an assignment breakdown, and I think that's important for us to make sure and understand that, we got to clear those things up, and we got to, probably, be a little more dialed in and focused no matter what the score is, or what portion of the game that we're in, and make sure that we try to limit, the big play or situations that could probably be avoided by, playing more disciplined.
And now when you do start to shift your attention here to Washington County coming up Friday night, and ask about them in just a second, but for your team this week at practice, what do you want to see them improve at?
Well, I think our efforts got to, amp up a little bit in practice. I think we've gone through some days where we probably haven't been quite as sharp as we need to be, and we're kind of just going through the motions. And I think we have to understand that each and every day we have to, come out and, really come out with that attitude that we're there to improve, we're there to get better. Because, the process isn't always the easiest part of it, but if you want to reach your goals, you definitely have to understand that the process is probably the most important part. And I think that, Monday through Thursday is way more important than, some people consider when you're dealing about success on Friday night.
I think that comes from a spot from experience, you saying that, and completely agree. It's building those good days to come up with a good Friday night. And now Washington County, it's a home contest for your team. We were talking a little bit beforehand. This is a physical Washington County team, completely different than last year. So I don't want to say how do you combat that physicality, but how do you prepare for it and get the boys ready for Friday night?
Well, I think that our kids, need to, they're again be very assignment sound, be physical at the point of attack. We've got to get better at block disruption anyway. So I feel like somebody that kind of comes downhill like this is going to be important for us. Just to kind of take that step forward and kind of work on that gap assignment, sound football, and then also understanding that like once you hit your initial read, start looking for where the heat's coming as far as the blocking goes, and if we can disrupt those blocks, a little quicker, I feel like we're going to be able to swarm to the ball a little faster than we have been. And we've been good at it. I mean, don't get me wrong. We've been very good at getting to the football, and our defense has been extremely successful. But I feel like there's little things that we can do to, probably, ramp it up a notch and get us to be where we're probably even more effective on that side of the ball.
Well, an opportunity for your team to get 1% better coming up Friday, and hopefully we get the opportunity to chat with a 3-0 led Matt Hoyer's team there the following week. Again, talking with head coach Matt Hoyer. As always, I appreciate the time, Coach, and we'll look forward to chatting with you next week after the Washington game.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
In your bustling lives, we're constantly on the move from hectic commutes to family outings. Blue Valley Insurance offers comprehensive auto coverage to keep you safe on every journey. Whether you're heading to work or driving your kids to practice, we've got you covered. Visit us at convenient locations in Lynn, Greenleaf, Hanover, or Marysville for personalized auto insurance solutions tailored to your needs. Drive with peace of mind knowing you're protected by Blue Valley Insurance.
Not everyone can become a Lennox dealer, so you'll be glad to know when you buy a Lennox from Hanover Electric Incorporated, you not only get the best products in the business, you also get a tradition of experience in making sure your home is as comfortable as it can be. Because every independent Lennox dealer must pass the Lennox Quality Dealer Standards Program, the toughest test in the industry, and what it means is you get a dealer you could always count on. Lennox, one less thing to worry about.
Back to school means your household is back online. With Blue Valley Technologies, try out a 3-month internet speed boost with no long-term commitments. Keep your family connected with 24/7 tech support, plus parental controls with worry-free Wi-Fi. Sign up to receive 3 months free, plus free installation. Not a current Blue Valley Technologies customer? Sign up for the best in internet service and get a $100 bill credit. Visit bluevalley.net.
From the ground up, Midwest Products Hanover can assist with concrete drives, parking, walks, entries, foundations, and support walls. Quality people help produce quality products, and you can rely on their crews for a job done right. Concrete plants at Hanover, Washington, and Clay Center. Midwest Products also haul rock, sand, and gravel. They have a crane for rent and can assist with site preparation. Start your next job with a call for a quote today from Midwest Products at Hanover. Hanover Wildcats Coach's Corner, a service of Hanover Electric, Blue Valley Technologies, Inline Construction, the Blue Valley Insurance Agency, Citizen State Banks, Handy's Hardware and Lumber, Midwest Products, and Bremen Farmers Mutual Insurance.